town on the western bank of the Euphrates River that was ruled by Daesh for almost 2 years. Since rebels backed by Turkish forces retook it last year, the population has been growing rapidly, and local authorities are struggling to cope.
اعتماد كلي علينا. يعني عملة باب معيشة له.
Life has gone back to normal, but keeping a town safe in a war-torn country is a huge challenge.
اختلاط الناس، انتشار السلاح، جهاز الشرطة بمفرده غير قادر على القيام.
Many think that their revolution has been stolen, and they're not willing to let go. But for now, the town is rebuilding itself.
جنب دقم الباب، انت فوز الجاسم، حطم الطربوش، مسدس، جابوني، ما ادري الا بالغرفه هاي، علقوني فورا على البلانجو، ومطبش وضرب ضرب ضرب ضرب، لما نوعيت 3 أشهر على الحال هاي. ضرب صلخ ما اشتغل، والغرفه بيها، اللي قاطعين راسه اللي يكتمون يضربون ويجيبون والدم يسيل.
Fawaz's only crime was wanting to see Daesh out of his town, a wish he voiced a bit too loud. And for those words, he paid a hefty price, 90 days inside a Daesh jail.
أريد أتمنى بس أشوف الشجرة هاي، أشوف العصفور أو أشوف الطير أو أشوف كذا. ما صدقنا نطلع، كل دقيقة لغم البارودة إعدام، 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 أنت إعدام، أنت كافر. ويجيبون جنازة ويستونهم قدامك. الدواش. لا عم يشوفونا ما نشوف أبدا ولا أبدا، لحتى الرعب معنا، حتى بالليل ما عاد ننام.
3 years after the start of the Syrian revolution that quickly turned into a civil war, Daesh took control of Jarablus. And the 100 fighters based there imposed a reign of terror.
شوف لساني خايف. والله لساننا خايفين من الدواش.
The moment Fawaz got out of jail, he ran away to Lebanon without even taking the time to see his 7 children. He came back after Jarablus became the first town to be liberated under Operation Euphrates Shield. In August last year, Turkish tanks rolled into Syria to support Free Syrian Army fighters. Their aim to maintain border security and to create a zone free from both groups that Turkey regards as terror organizations, Daesh and the YPG. It took them only a few hours to recapture Jarablus and less than 2 months to control an area of 1,000 square kilometers before reaching Al-Bab, the place that proved to be the toughest battle of this military campaign. After 7 months of fighting, Turkey declared the operation a success and put it on hold. Operation Euphrates Shield might have freed Jarablus, but it couldn't bring back that part of its soul that Daesh destroyed. Once the town was liberated from Daesh, the residents of Jarablus did all they could to erase the signs of their presence. But in some parts, there are still stark reminders of the destruction and terror they left behind, like at this cemetery. Because it did not conform with their skewed interpretation of Islam, Daesh destroyed these tombstones, as well as the identities of those lying beneath. All visible signs of Daesh's presence may have been swept away, but invisible threats are still there. Mahmoud stepped on a mine left behind by the terror group while looking for land to farm.
اللحم صاير أزرق.
ما في مشكلة، هذا كل التهابات انتهائية بسيطة بسبب مواد سامة. هذا اللغم موجود كله مواد سامة منيح، يدخل على الجرح بدها كم يوم لحتى تاخذ وقت، وكل ما كل يوم تتنظف.
Dr. Othman was trained as a nurse in Aleppo. Today, he performs up to 10 critical surgical operations every day. Last year, most of the patients coming here had war-related injuries, but now most cases are similar to those in any other hospital around the world. With 60 beds, this hospital treats more than 1,000 patients a day, not only from Jarablus, but from all across northern Syria. Like this woman, who traveled over 100 kilometers from Azaz risking her life to try and save her leg. She's been in intense pain for 9 months after being injured in crossfire. This former field hospital provides much more than just medical help.
Hastalarda da ciddi bir emniyet oluşturdular. Hatta şöyle ki etraf bölgelerden buraya gelip burada yerleşen insanlara söylenen şey şu: size orada her türlü tedavi imkanı sunulacak. Orada güzel bir hastane var. Bu imkanlarla şey yapacaksınız, tedavi imkanı bulacaksınız diye buraya yönlendiriliyor. Ve insanların buraya gelip yerleşmesinde ve buraya emniyetli bir yer bulmalarında hastanenin çok ciddi rolü var.
But some people can't be saved here. Doha is only a couple of weeks old. She's almost paralyzed and can hardly breathe. Her life is at risk. Doctors decide to immediately transfer her to Turkey. But across town, 3-day-old Fatime's future seems brighter. Her mother has just found a job in a newly opened community center. Iman left Aleppo in 2014 to escape the regime's barrel bomb attacks. She sought refuge here in Jarablus a few months ago.
صار في عنا أمل إنه ممكن نحن نتعلم مهن، ممكن نتعلم شيء نبني فيه مستقبل، نبني فيه شيء نعلم أطفالنا، نعلم أولادنا. أكيد بتمنى له دراسة وعلم ويعيشوا حياتهم، يعيشوا طفولتهم ما مثل ما نحن عشنا من أول ما وعينا على الدنيا حرب وقصف وشفنا جثث وشفنا دم. يعني أكيد بنطمح إنه هالشيء أطفالنا ما يشوفوه.
The center has English and computer classes, as well as hairdressing and knitting workshops. It also tries to heal the women's invisible wounds.
المرأة بمجتمعنا فقدت أخ، فقدت رجل، فقدت ابن، يعني هاي المشاكل النفسية أقل ما يمكن يعني المرأة عم بتعانيها، عدا على الصعيد يعني خلينا نقول الصعيد الثاني يعني هذا إذا بدنا نحكي فيه كثير واسع المجال هذا.
The days when women did not leave their homes are over. They now walk freely on the streets of Jarablus. Life has returned to normal in this former ghost town. Children are playing, people are smiling, and shops have reopened. Alaadin sells one of the best cups of coffee in town. He thought he would never get back to the grocery shop he opened almost 20 years ago.
طبعا أول ما جينا كان السوق فيه غلا كتير يعني في استغلال كتير نتيجة قلة المواد اللي كانت موجودة قبل يعني كان في قلة مواد وحصار شوي كذا. هلا الحمد لله يعني تقريبا شبه المواد كلها مأمنة والأسعار أحسن في شغل حركة فيه.
Before the war, some 40,000 people were living in Jarablus. Most of them escaped to neighboring Turkey in 2014, and the population went down to a few thousand. But since last year, most, if not all, have come back, while tens of thousands of others have arrived from other parts of Syria, like Homs, Aleppo, and more recently, Raqqa.
اليوم اغلب الناس اللي اجت لهنا على الدور على الامان انه هالمناطق هاي ما ضل بها لا طيران لا ضل بها قصف لا ضل بها شيء وصار بها شرطه حره ويعني ووضع نظام.
Keeping the town safe is not an easy task in a place where there's no official state. The newly formed Free Syrian Police are patrolling the streets to keep the criminals away. They're checking every car heading in and out of town. Jarablus may be one of the safest places in rebel-held Syria, but there's still a war going on not too far away, and fear that terror cells might still be hiding. Behind this wall are the town's most vital institutions, like the town council, the military command, and the police headquarters.
طبيعة اختلاط الناس، طبيعة انتشار السلاح، طبيعة الظرف الحالي اللي نمر فيه بالثورة أفرز جرائم جديدة على واقعنا وعلى مجتمعنا. هذا جهاز الشرطة بمفرده غير قادر على القيام بمهامه على أكمل وجه. نطمح لبناء شراكة مع المجتمع بكل مؤسساته وأفراده. نطمح إلى تكون الأمن مسؤولية الجميع، تنمية الإحساس بالمسؤولية عن جميع المواطنين، مساعدة جهاز الشرطة.
Raid Hamad defected from the regime's police force 5 years ago. He now has 400 men under his command and soon will have dozens more. The Free Syrian Police have launched a recruitment campaign and many hope to join its ranks. The local council is also struggling to cope with the influx of people.
يوجد معاناة كبيرة في مدينة جرابلس بسبب قدوم نازحين كثر كونها أصبحت منطقة آمنة ومتوفر فيها الخدمات من كهرباء وماء فيوجد ضغط سكاني شديد على منطقة جرابلس ونحن نعاني من هذه المشكلة.
A lot of pressure and not enough help from outside, except from Turkey, which is providing vital facilities and sending aid. The people coming here in search of a better life often end up in camps like this one. Some 250 families live in Al-Malab, the first camp that opened in the area. Noor devotes all her time and energy to help desperate people.
النازح بيعتمد اعتماد كلي علينا. يعني عملة باب معيشة له وما عنده أي دخل تاني مجبور يعملنا يعني. ونحن الإمكانيات ضغط يعني ضغط كتير إمكانيات كتير ضعيفة يعني ما عم بتكفي يعني صار عندنا فوق 50,000 لاجئ يعني هذا بلد بحاله.
But Noor's day doesn't stop here. Back at the local council, she coordinates the delivery of the aid. Noor was once an Arabic teacher in Aleppo. She believes that one day justice will prevail, but she's worried for the next generation.
طبعا احنا صرنا 7 سنين حرب جو حرب والولاد الصغار يعني عايشين حالة رعب كون انه داعش كانت تذبح قدامهم الرجال والنساء الاطفال عم يشيلوا العصاي ويقول له انا بموتك وانت متت صار العابهم هيك يعني لازم نطلعهم من هذا الجو.
Meanwhile, many other young people are getting ready for the next battle. The numerous factions of the Free Syrian Army might have a common flag and common enemies, but they lack a unified command. Trying to unite it is almost an impossible task, as different groups have different visions for the country's future.
والآن نحن نسعى إلى تشكيل جيش موحد ضمن عمليات درع الفرات يعمل ضمن 3 فيالق ينظم كل هذه المنطقة. يوجد لدينا بعض الصعوبات عن طريق اختراقات لبعض الخلايا لمجموعات من عنا ويتم التعامل معها بدقة من خلال الجهاز الأمني التابع لعمليات درع الفرات.
Jarablus has not seen any fighting in the last year. The people on the streets have not given up their weapons in case they need to defend themselves.
إذا تقدم الأسد بدنا نقاتله، إذا تقدم الحزب حزب البكيكي بدنا نقاتله لآخر نقطة يعني بدمنا جسمنا آخر نقطة دم بدنا نقاتله.
The scars of war can still be seen everywhere. The sound of rifles have gone silent and have been replaced by the sound of drilling. Old residents and newcomers bring with them the muscle to rebuild. There's a construction site on almost every corner of Jarablus, reaching all the way up to the town's highest point, the hill overlooking the opposite bank of the Euphrates River. This is where Abdul is building his new family house.
ليش اخترنا؟ لأنه أنا ضيعتي ما بتبعد 1 كيلومتر 2 كيلومتر يعني بعد النهار أكثر من هيك يعني ما راح نبعد.
Abdul was forced out of his former home by the YPG. He dreams of going back to the other side one day, but for now, he's helping Jarablus rise from its ashes. Alican Ayanlar in Jarablus, northern Syria.